family, welcome back to another update on my GLP-1 journey. This is Grieve, Grow, and Glow. If you are new here, my name is Cherie, and I've decided to help you guys out, right? Help someone that is considering taking the GLP-1 shot by documenting my experience on the Zepbound and sharing the real truth about what this journey really looks like for me. Because everybody's journey isn't the same, right? So, this past week it's been interesting. It has been interesting. The biggest thing I've noticed is that my appetite is changing. There have been instances when I know I need to eat, but I'm honestly just not hungry. But skipping a meal isn't ideal because you don't want your body to hold on to the food, right? Because you're not replenishing it. So I force myself to eat at least a protein, right? Since my daily protein numbers are extremely high. I have to eat at least 165 mgs a day. So that's one of the biggest adjustments for me because I've spent years trying to control my hunger. And now I actually have to remind myself to eat enough protein and nourish my body. That's a good thing, right? One thing I've also noticed is that I get full fast. That has never been my story, right? Food that I could have easily finished. But my stomach is like, no ma'am. So I am listening to my body and I'm not forcing food down when I'm not hungry. Child, I love me some food and I hate wasting it. So I've decided to change the relationship I previously had by, instead of putting my food on a big plate, I use smaller portions, right? And being done, not going back for seconds and thirds and just being greedy. I'm being intentional and just making sure I'm getting enough food getting enough nutrients. I can't even talk. Getting enough nutrients, especially the protein. Another thing that I've noticed this week is fatigue. There was a few days that I felt really sleepy earlier than normal, right? And I'm thinking, well, it could be my work hours. I'm usually in bed between 8:30 and 9. I'm up by 3:30 with a 2-hour commute every day. But it also could be my body adjusting to the medication, right? So I'm learning to listen to my body instead of pushing through everything, right? Your body tells the story. So listening and paying attention is key. Another important factor is hydration, which has continued to be a major focus for me. I'm not a water drinker, and I've been working so hard to hit my water goals of 130 ounces because I've noticed that when I don't drink enough water, I feel like my body is inflamed, right? And I don't feel my best. So water is extremely important while you're taking this medication, just as important as the medication. Before I started on the GLP-1, the Zepbound, there was times when I ate because I was stressed, bored, emotional, or simply because food just wasn't available, right? I'm such a foodie. But now I'm having to ask myself, girl, are you really hungry? Which is a good thing, right? Because I'm loving the fact that I'm just grabbing something to eat. I'm making conscious decisions. And it's usually just drinking my water. That has been a learning experience, and I'm happy because I'm being obedient, right? Because I've struggled with my weight for way too long. And it's mainly because of past trauma, hurt, and grief that I set in, right? I'm an emotional eater. And since being on the shot, your girl is down 6 pounds. Okay? Now, this week it ain't moved much, but I believe it's because of eating a lot of high sodium foods. I started to retain water. One thing about me, I don't deprive myself of anything, right? But now I have to limit it only to once a week, if that, because the scale don't lie and it didn't move exactly how I expected it to. If I realized the last few foods when I ate clean, I can't even get this out, right? I realized that when I ate clean, the scale tells a different story, right? The scale dropped quickly, which is clear to me that during this weight loss journey, I need to focus more on eating at home. So I'm learning that the numbers don't always tell the whole story. Sometimes the sodium, the hydration, the hormones, the inflammation, or even a meal from the day before can affect what we see on the scale. So my main goal is to focus more on the consistency than the perfection. I'm not in a rush to lose the weight. Baby steps for me, right? I want to maintain the weight. Don't want it to come back. So this week, I'm going to continue to focus on getting the protein in, drinking 130 ounces of water, and making better food choices, right? Not perfect choices, but just better choices all the way around. And honestly, by doing that, I think that is sustainable success, right? Just staying on the journey, right? Another thing I want to remind anyone watching this is that GLP-1 medications are just tools. That's all they are. You still have to make the right decisions every single day. And I'm so committed to this journey. I know for me, I need to exercise. I need to move my body. I need to make that a priority. I struggle when it comes to the gym. But that starts with changing my mindset. Everybody know I don't like the gym, but I need to change my mindset. I have to be patient with myself, and I have to give myself grace on the not so good days, right? Because you're not always going to follow the plan. You're just not, right? Life be lifing. So the medication may help quiet the noise sometimes around you about the food, but you still have to show up for yourself every single day. If you fall off, get right back on it. Emotionally, I feel encouraged because I'm seeing the small changes in my body. I'm noticing the good habits that I'm incorporating, right? The food habits are changing. I'm becoming more aware of the way my body looks. I'm loving how I'm melting away. Okay? That's always a good thing. And most importantly, I'm proving to myself that I can stay committed on this journey, even when the scale doesn't move or when it moves slow. Because it does move slow. But that's another story, right? So for anyone who is really considering this GLP-1 medication, my advice is give yourself grace, right? Give it a try. Nothing's perfect. But if you're going to take the medication, you have to be committed. Your journey's not going to look exactly like someone else's, right? Some people could have huge success, and some people may lose a pound a month. Your rate of loss is always going to be different from the other person. Your side effects are going to be different. Your victories are going to be different. Stay the course. Don't give up. Give yourself grace. But every healthy choice counts, right? So guys, that's my update for this week. It was interesting. I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm staying focused on the goals that I set in place for myself. I'm trusting the process. I am celebrating the small wins along the way, right? You have to celebrate your small wins just as much as you celebrate the big wins. So I want to thank you guys for following my journey, for your encouragement, for cheering your girl on. And remember, we're not just losing the weight. We are building healthier lives, right? So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Remember to like the live, share the live so this can get out to as many people as it can, right? And I'll see you in the next update. It's your girl, Cherie. Deuces.
Thought that I would be a bit at peace by now. Yeah, you're lying in the shadows of my room. Oh, always heard your voice, I forget the sound now. You're awfully quiet while I cry out for you.